Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. I'm going to be using a lot of new products that I have purchased and I wanted to test out with you guys today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So some of the products I'm going to show you I have already tested and I'm still trying, but I will mention those throughout the video that I am testing. I am going to put on this lip balm by Wet n Wild. It's their lip treatment. I'm just going to put this all over. I've already put on all my skincare. I do want to go in with the Colorscience Sunforgettable Total Protection Face Shield. I have the shades Bronze and Glow. If you guys have been watching my channel, you guys know that I've been trying to look for another sunblock that I could actually use during the day. It's not so super moisturizing like my Elta. So I've been trying other sunblocks for my skin, and this is one that I actually recently purchased through the Colorscience website. I saw this on, I think it was Derm Store, and I tried to get it there, but they didn't have the bronze. So I went ahead and went to Colorscience's website and I got both of these. I think I got them both for like 30% off. So I've been trying both. I do love both the shades. I love the Glow and the Bronze. The Glow is more of a, I'll swatch them for you. The Glow is a little bit lighter, so it's going to be best for like lighter to medium skin tones. But that is it right there. I don't know if you guys can see that glow. And the bronze one is good for like medium to darker skin tones. But I would say that if you want a little bit more of a bronzy look, then I would go ahead and buy the bronze, even though you might not be, you know, a medium skin tone. I would still buy the bronze because I think the bronze is so gorgeous, especially if your body is bronzed. You just want to add that hint of bronze to your skin, then I would definitely go with the bronze. But I'm going to show you the top one here is the Glow and the bottom one is the Bronze. So they're both very glowy products on your skin and they make the skin look super beautiful and healthy. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Bronze today, only because I want a little bit more of a bronze look today. And I do recommend that you guys shake it up really, really good because you have to mix the product that's in the bottle. I usually go in with like a pea size, about that much. And normally I don't put it on the back of my hand, but I wanted to show you guys. And then I just take it all over the skin. Now, it looks very glowy on the skin, but I'm going to tell you right now, I do not get greasy with this product at all. And I've worn it when it's like 80 something degrees outside. Today it's 92, so I am going to be wearing it today, and I doubt that it's going to make me greasy because it has not done that. Putting it on, it does have it has a moisturizing type of consistency, but to me it doesn't feel greasy. It actually really sinks into the skin, so I've been really loving this. If you guys don't know, I do have lash extensions, and because all these salons are actually closed down, my lashes have been falling out little by little, which I'm okay with because I found some really cool lashes at the drugstore. And the ones that I'm actually wearing today are called Ardell Naked Lashes in 424. And then I went in with the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive with Aloe. It's a clear lash. And that is what I actually used to apply the lashes today. Now, this is the first day that I have applied strip lashes in like forever. So if they look kind of funky or they're kind of not asymmetrical or whatnot, that's going to be because I have not put on strip lashes in a minute. Once I start putting them on, I know I'll get it back to where I put them on without any issues. But for now, this is the first time that I'm wearing them today, so bear with me. But I think they actually came out pretty good. This one looks a little bit fuller only because I have more lashes as far as the extensions on this side than I do this side. So the lashes are more of a natural lash. So they're not really big and bold like I usually like them, but I wanted to go ahead and try those today. I do have some others that I'm going to be showing you guys in a haul. After I film this, I'm going to be filming that haul. So yeah, so anyway, enough with the lashes. Let's move on. I am going to be using the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas. I have been testing this out, guys, and I really do love it. I love it way better than the balm, and the only reason is because it's a lot easier to apply. There's really no difference in the product itself other than this applies so silky smooth. You don't have any pulling or tugging on your face when you use this. So for that, I really like the liquid better than I do the balm. The balm is something that I really loved when I first purchased it, and I did use it for a while, but then I stopped using it. And I don't know if it's just because I just didn't pick it up, because I've used other balms like the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer and the e.l.f. Mattifying Putty Primer. And I really like those, but I don't know why I didn't pick up the Tatcha as much as I wanted to. But either way, this one works really good. It literally fills in my pores, which I was really surprised because it is so liquidy, but it did fill in my pores really well. So I haven't really been putting any like pore primer right here on my T-zone. I've actually just been using this by itself. I am gonna go in with the Revolution Pro Eye Elements Central Eye Primer. And I'm going to place that on my eyelids for now. I'm going to try not to get any of that on my eyelashes. I'm still waiting for my nail beds to heal. They don't hurt anymore as they did when I first took off the nails, but they still are kind of rigid. So I have like this Sally Hansen's Miracle type product on my nail beds, and it's really actually helping them. I'm hoping that they'll hurry up and heal so that I can do a manicure. So for eyes, I'm going to go in with the Pat McGrath Labs Mothership 7 Divine Rose Palette. I did recently purchase this palette once it came back in stock. I had heard so many good things about this palette, so I do want to use this today. You guys have seen Pat McGrath's packaging. It's always really, really beautiful. And then here is the packaging itself. Very heavy, very weighted packaging. And then these are the shades here that I'm going to use. Now, I was having a conversation with my friend Jules, and she was saying that she recently saw some YouTubers use this palette, and they were using this palette that just came back in stock. So she was saying that they were saying how much more pigmented this one was. So I never used the first one that came out, and I tried to get it when it went on sale, but they were completely sold out. So I went ahead and purchased this one when it went back in stock. So I'm really excited to hear that it might be a little bit more pigmented and a little bit easier to use. So we're gonna go ahead and try it today to see if that is true. I'm gonna use the Sonia G Blender Pro. I'm going into the shade Velouria, and I'm going to use that in my crease. Ooh, it is powdery. That's a matte shade, and it is very powdery, and it is pigmented. And I'm just going into my crease with that shade. It's a lot more pigmented than what I thought. This shade in the palette looks super light, but it's really pretty. I normally set that central eye primer, and today I didn't do that, which is okay. Sometimes I don't set it, but normally I set it. And today I didn't set it, but this blended out beautifully. And I love that shade. It's like a beautiful light eggplant shade, just really pretty. Now I don't remember if these shadows were powdery. I'm gonna have to look at some of the other ones I have. I don't really remember them being this powdery because they're pretty powdery, which honestly guys, that doesn't bother me because I don't care about kickback as long as I have a nice shade and it blends well. Next shade I'm going to use is Rose Dusk. It's this one here. I'm using that same brush. This one is more of like a, kind of like a shimmer shade, but not super shimmery. And I'm just putting that in the crease and on the corner. Kind of mixing it with that other shade. Oh, this is so pretty. Wow, I love that. I have mentioned on my channel before that using some of these Pat McGrath palettes have been really difficult. Not all of them are difficult, but a lot of them are if you're not used to putting shadow on, or if you're new to shadow, or even if you have worked with shadows and you're not used to working with this type of formula, then I felt like these would be really hard to work with. I had issues with working with them. I'm not a makeup artist or anything, but I did have issues working with them. That kind of affected the way I looked at the Pat McGrath shadows and whether I wanted to purchase more. But when I saw this one, I knew that these were some shades that I really loved, and I really wanted to give it another try because I love those shades. And so I went ahead and purchased this one, and I'm glad I did because so far so good with these shadows. I'm going to go into this shade called Lovelace. I'm using this Sonia G Jumbo Blender, and I'm going to just pack that onto the eyelid. That's so beautiful. I am super impressed with this palette, guys. It is working so good right now. So I'm going to take the Worker Pro by Sonia G. I'm going to go into this shade right here. It's called VP Rose Venus. And I'm going to use that shade just on the center of my lid, just to kind of highlight my lid. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. That's beautiful. I'm going to use the Sonia G Mini Booster, and I'm going to go into this shade. This one right here is called Extreme Mahogany, and I'm going to use that right here just on the corner of my lid just to give it some depth. So that's it for the eyes right now. So now I'm going to use foundation. I'm going to go into the All Hours foundation. This is in the shade B50. Actually, this is in the shade BD50. And I'm going to use my Tarte Blendiful to apply this. I'm going to go in with my Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. This one is in the shade 4. And then I'm going to use the Blendiful to actually press that into my under eyes. I'm going to go in with a little bit more. Then of course I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Tan. I'm going to go ahead and set that with my Morphe Brightening Pink Powder. I am going to go ahead and set my face with the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. I'm going to go ahead and use my Chanel pencil to do my eyebrows off camera, and then I'll be right back. So I do want to try this new product that I purchased at Sephora. It's called the Colourful Contour, and it's in the shade First Touch. It's not as warm as I usually like my contours, but I saw a YouTuber using this, and I figured I would go ahead and try it. As you can see, it is very cool compared to what I like, but I want to go ahead and try it because it did look good on her. I am going to go in with this Flower Beauty brush. It's kind of a pointed, fluffy brush. So I want to use this because it's nice and fluffy and it's not as dense, because I don't want a really strong contour. So I want to do something very light today. So I'm going to go ahead and go under my cheekbone and do just a very slight contour. And then just kind of contour just my forehead right by my hairline. So I really like using this brush with this because it goes on like super light and super soft. So there's not like a really harsh line, as you can see. But it did contour beautifully. It didn't come off as cool as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like way cooler. But I really like how it contoured my cheekbones. So for bronzer, I am going with the Beiges Healthy Glow Illuminating Powder in Sunset. This is by Chanel. This is the outside packaging. And I did mention this in my video where I compared the Soleil Tan bronzer from Chanel to the new one, the Beiges one. I did purchase this when I purchased that cream bronzer. So I do want to use it today. I have used this once before, but I want to go ahead and use it again today because when I used it the first time, it really didn't wow me. So I want to go ahead and try it for a second time today and see how it looks on my skin. I am going in with the Master Face by Sonia G, And I'm just going to put my brush in there. I didn't show you guys the product, but that's it right there. It has a slight fragrance to it, but not too overpowering. It does have a glow to it. So if you're not into bronzers where they have like some type of glow to them and you're more into matte bronzers, then this is probably not a bronzer you're gonna like, because it does have a glow to it, as you can see. It's not super pigmented. You can go in several times putting it on. I do like the way it went on today. It went on really, really pretty. Yeah, it is a very glowy bronzer. It's super glowy. Can you see that glow on my face? Yeah. So anyway, let's move on to blush. So I do want to use the Cheek Stars Mini Reunion Tour palette by Benefit. I did purchase this at Sephora as well. And this one has like 3 shades in it. It has the bronzer, which is the Hoola bronzer. It has Sugar Bomb, which is a new shade, and Georgia, which is a new shade. So as you can see there, these 2 right here say that they're new. So I want to go in with Georgia today as my blush. This is the packaging, and then you've got the shades in here. I have tried the Hoola bronzer. It is a nice bronzer, but it only shows up on me when I'm lighter skin tone, like during the winter months when I don't have a lot of color. And normally how I would use this is I would use it just like that contour shade I just used with this brush. So I'm not going to use that today, but I am going to use the Georgia blush because I want to see how that goes on the skin. I'm looking for a brush. I'm going to go in with this Real Techniques brush, see if this works on my cheeks. It's not showing really well. It is coming off a little bit on my cheeks, but it's not showing as well as I want it to. Very, very light. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Let me see, should I try Sugar Bomb? Because the Georgia is too light, I'm gonna go in with Sugar Bomb. And basically it is this shade right here, and I'm just gonna mix it all around. That one's pretty light as well. It's not as light as the Georgia, but I like a little bit more pigmentation to my blushes. So I'm gonna go in with another blush, and I bought this one by Tarte. It's called Bday, and I haven't been able to use this one. I've had this one for a little while now. So I'm gonna use this on top of those other 2 blushes, but this is the beautiful packaging that this comes in, and this is the actual shade. Tarte blushes are usually some of my favorites because they are pigmented and they last all day. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on top. Ooh, yeah, that is pretty. And it goes perfectly with this eye look. Look how pretty that is. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch it for you guys because you can't really know what the true shade is because I put it on top of those other 2, but this is the shade here. Super pretty. Love the way that looks. So let's finish up my eyes. I'm going back into the Pat McGrath palette to finish up my eyes. I'm going to use the Pencil Pro by Sonia G. I'm going to go into Rose Dusk, and I'm going to place that on my lower lash line. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave that one shade because I think that just looks so beautiful on the lower lash line. I am going to go in with my Pillow Talk liner by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm just going to put this on my lower lash line. I think the liner goes perfectly with that eye look. So now I'm going to go into lips. I'm going to go in with this Morphe lip liner called Spiffy. Then I'm going to go into this Lime Crime lip gloss. It's the Wet Cherry lip gloss. This one's in the shade Naked Cherry. It has a beautiful like pink tone to it. Really, really pretty. And then I'm going to go in with my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I'm going to go ahead and go over the new products that I used really quickly. I pretty much gave you some insight on how I feel about the product as I was applying on the makeup. Let me start with the Chanel bronzer. I really did like the way it went on today, but, and there's a big but, I feel like it's too glowy. It's not like my Revlon Skin Lights bronzer, which I think is super beautiful on the skin. It has just the right amount of glow. This one's more of like a bronzer, but it also has that highlight effect to it. So I don't really like that about it. I do feel like it's a beautiful bronzer. It is a beautiful shade, but I just don't like that highlighting effect it gives within the bronzer. So I'm probably not gonna keep this, and it's probably gonna go back. So for the Cheek Stars Mini Reunion Tour Cheek Palette, I'm not going to keep this because I think these two shades here are way too light for my skin tone. I really wanted the Georgia one to work because the Georgia one is more of like a peach tone blush, but it's just too light for me. So this is not going to be something that I can use. So this is definitely going back as well. So for the Tarte Blush in Bday Bay, this is gorgeous. I love the way it went on. I think it looks perfect with this very pink smoky eye look. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep this, love it. I don't know if they sell these anymore. If they do, I'll list it here, but if they don't, I'll let you guys know as well. But yeah, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful blush. It's one of those very soft mauvey pink blushes. It's not too bright. It just looks really beautiful on the skin. And like I said, I've always loved Tarte blushes. They last long, they're super blendable, and they're very pigmented. For the Colourful Contour by Sephora in First Touch, I really like this, guys. I especially love it with this brush. I think it gave a beautiful, like, light contour. It's just really pretty on the skin. It blended very easy, and I think using this brush was the perfect brush to use with it because it didn't go on like a streak or like a harsh line. So really loved it. Love this product. I'm gonna continue to use it so I can have that slight contour to my face. So for the lashes, I do love the lashes. I do feel I'm gonna need a little bit more practice with them, which is okay because I've got plenty of time right now other than the days that I actually go to work. But yeah, I really like them. I think they're very beautiful. They fan out really nicely. And this Kiss Strip Lash, so far, it's working. It's keeping that lash down, and it hasn't moved or anything like that. So I'll continue to use this. I do have another lash glue that I purchased that's actually formaldehyde free. I don't know if this one is formaldehyde free. I'm looking at the packaging and I don't see where it says formaldehyde free. So anyway, I do like it so far. It's held these lashes in place throughout the video, and hopefully it'll hold them in place throughout the day. Let's see, what was the other thing that I used? Oh, so last but not least is the Rose Divine palette by Pat McGrath. If you guys are on the fence about purchasing this, let me just say that this palette has worked better than any of the Pat McGrath palettes that I have in my collection. It's very easy to use. It's super blendable. All the shades in here are super saturated. There is some kickback with this palette, but it's not something that's bothersome to me. Basically, what I did was I put my brush in there and then tapped off the excess. And it's not going to be a problem if you do your shadow first before you do your foundation. But other than that, guys, this is so stinking beautiful. It looks so good on the eyes, and I'm so glad that I took another chance with these Pat McGrath palettes. I was really hoping that it would be different and that it would work, and it absolutely did. I'm telling you guys, this is such a gorgeous palette. Every shade in here that I used, and I used pretty much every single one of them except maybe 3 shades. No, actually, except maybe 4 shades. But every one that I did use, I had no issues with, and I think the look came out so beautiful on the eyelids. So that is it for this Get Ready With Me trying new products. Oh, I didn't mention, let me mention the Colorscience and the Tatcha. The Tatcha, I already told you guys, love it, been using it. Great, great primer for my whole face. When I go in with this, I don't have to use 2 separate primers. And then the Colorscience, I've been testing it the past few days. I love it. I worked out with this and only this on my skin, and I didn't break out. I didn't have like a hot mess going on my face, like where it smeared everywhere or it just looked kind of weird or splotchy. It works, guys. It works so well, guys, on my skin. So if you haven't tried this and you're looking for something a little different, something that's a little bit more, not mattifying, but something that sinks in a little bit more into the skin and doesn't have, you know, that really heavy moisturizing feel, because that's how my Elta MD feels now when I do put it on. When it's warm outside, I feel like I get a little bit more oily with that Elta MD. But with this, I don't get oily at all. I've used it, like I said, the past few days. I haven't had any issues with it. Been loving it. So anyway, this is it for my Get Ready With Me trying on new products, and I hope you guys liked it. Be safe, take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.